inside the circle, season 11, episode 6.4. That was a little Dusty Rhodes right there. Get him!
Wow, man.
He's just a kind
I would have
man.
never guessed it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I feel like we're doing our whiteboard predictions this night. It's taking us so long. But anyways, we are moving along here in Division 1 sectional breakdown. We did the first two, now we're moving on. I wouldn't say tougher. I would say deeper.
Okay.
I would say deeper. We're splitting hairs, but I do think the last two do have a little bit of separation before the first two.
Okay.
And deciding which one is the toughest was a little tricky for me, but we'll
Crapshoot.
talk about that as we get to that. But we're going to start with the second toughest sectional in Division 1. We're going to go with the Newark Wildcat sectional here. Mark, tell us about the teams we got out there.
Well, we know Newark is there.
Yep.
Licking Heights is in the house.
Okay.
The Hornets, New Albany.
Albany.
We also have Big Walnut, Gahanna, Olentangy, Delaware, Taze Valley, Mifflin, Olentangy, Liberty, and St. Charles.
Did you say Delaware?
I said Delaware Hayes.
Did you? Sure, Delaware? I would not have guessed Delaware if you watched the earlier episodes, which I'm sure you did, because we're all wrestling junkies here, and if you're watching this, I would not have guessed Delaware.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I just, they're one of my misses here.
Okay, yes.
Right, but I did not have Delaware. For some reason, I had them going to Watkins.
Okay.
But anyways, when we look at this sectional, I'm upset about a couple things. I should have you take that shirt off.
I won't.
It's getting hot in here. But I'm extremely upset with them. I was talking to somebody this week before we go, and they asked me about 106. I was like, after 3 months, I finally have it figured out who I think should be favored at the Derby tournament.
Yep.
And I wanted to unveil that, as Mark would say, then. And these two guys got to show up together. They're going to steal my thunder. I really feel like they did that on purpose to me.
Oh, yeah. All day they were thinking, how can we screw over Sean and his picks that we don't even know?
Oh, anyways.
Hey, that's what happens when you become the center of your universe. Everybody is conspiring against you.
It really
That
is
how it
5 in the
goes.
morning, man. But anyways, let's talk about some of these weights there.
Let's.
106 is a weight we're going to look at for. Could be a Derby final preview there. You got Huggy and Makros in there.
Yes.
And then don't forget Haddon from Big
Walnut.
Walnut
Who could
as
forget
well.
him?
I think
Dangerous.
I think all three of those guys are going to have a lot of wins at Derby.
Okay.
Another weight, if we're going to talk about these weight with the trio there, is looking heavyweight there.
Bookends.
We have Fleet, we have returning state qualifier Thurston, and Falouche. I saw him at Dublin Jerome. He's really starting to get a little bit better. He's peaking at the right time. He's going to be a tough out for everyone, and don't sleep on him. I mean, it's heavyweight. Anything can go, but don't sleep on him. So heavyweight's another one there. When we look at it, though, we have 3 teams in the top 5, 7 in the top 20. People might think this should be the toughest one.
Yeah.
But it does seem to get a little bit thin after that. I don't expect there to be any real race for the team title. I expect Liberty to go way out there. I'm guessing they'll have at least, I think, 7 finalists out of that sectional. That's going to be hard to run down. You have that many finalists, right? It's gonna be hard to run
7.
down.
That's half the
You know, a
scoop.
team I think is the big winner out of here is Big Walnut. People just say Big Walnut, but they got 2 kids that probably can get to the state tournament. Haddon, again, getting in here with the top 2 guys at 106, being separated at the district tournament, is going to give him a more favorable path to try to navigate his way there. And then our boy Vinny at 138. Another behind a runaway winner at Derby. 138 is kind of a lot of moving parts there. If we could get 2 of them taken out at the Upper Arlington section. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yes.
But I think if Vinny can win that sectional, he's going to set himself. I think the key is winning a sectional at 138.
Yes. Well, we know what one thing he can do: losing the first round and become a state qualifier.
Ooh, he's got that in there. Well, I don't think that's going to happen at sectional.
Yeah. No,
Might
that's
happen
true.
at districts, but I think he'll make a good run there. So we will have Liberty winning it pretty handily there.
Yeah.
We're going to have Taze Valley coming in a solid second.
Gotcha.
And then we're going to have Delaware coming in
Fighting for third.
third. But one thing about this section when I look at it is teams have, like Old Tangy. They're going to have tremendous lightweights, but then kind of thin out. And then you have Delaware, who has tremendous upper weights, but kind of thin on the little one. Then the Taze Valley's kind of levered. So I don't know, other than the couple weights we talked about with being 106 and 285, the bookends there, that there's many spots where I think you're going to have 5 or 6 kids trying to get into 4 that are at that level at this point in their career.
Gotcha.
So,
I get
it. Newark runs a great sectional. I went out there for years back during the Ken Justice days. You know, I was thinking about him, Mark, like a week ago, and he texted me. It was like 12:15 in the morning, like 12:15 a.m.
I remember you told this story.
And I'm just sitting there, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, just watching TV. I guess you're doing the same thing. He's like, I got the camera worked out. Can you do me a favor? I'm like, yeah, what do you need? He's like, what section are you going to tomorrow? I said, I'm going to Marysville. He said, hey, why don't you come out here for the first part or the second part and do the announcing for one of them? I was like, dude, Ken, you do so much. And the fact that you're putting this time in at past midnight for somebody else's kids so they can watch the video stream.
Yes.
That's some Mark and Sean stuff right there, man. I mean, that's really, it's like Sean and Sean stuff there. That's something Sean would do. I mean, that's just who Sean Sean is. But, you know, Mark, I had so much respect and so much, man.
Yes.
This is what we do the show for people to do that. So, Ken, rest in peace. In Newark, they have really kept up. Putting on a tremendous sectional. I so appreciate what you guys do.
100%.
Good job there. Now we're going to move on to the toughest. And I know this is really splitting hairs. You could go with Newark, and if somebody told me they thought Newark was the toughest, I'm not going to argue with them. But I think it's UA here. They have another one. Them and Newark both had 7 of the top 20 teams there. But this sectional has 4 of my preseason top 10s that nobody ever saw because I just couldn't end up doing it all. But when I look at the overall depth of this, Upper Arlington, I was telling Mark before we started filling, of the 14 teams there who filled in all their weight, only 2 teams had 1 kid missing.
Dang, that's a lot of kids.
You have 9 teams with a full roster,
and
then 2 teams with 13 kids. That's like, man, that's a lot. And I think, we all have scratches. I would be surprised if the Upper Arlington sectional doesn't have the most total competitors. Even though Watkins has 12, I would bet that Upper Arlington has the most kids participating in
Yes, I can see why you say that. Yeah.
To me, the big winner is Upper Arlington. They're going for their 5th straight. I mean, and that is impressive.
I agree.
don't think Coach Stout gets the
love.
The love he should. I mean, when you host a sectional, you got to deal with whoever shows up at your front door. And trust me, someone who grew up on the west side, that ain't as easy as South, man, because you get some humdingers showing up at the front door there. But again, he's going for a 5th. I think that's very impressive. There are some weights to look out for. Let's talk about some of these weights. 138 is probably the toughest weight of any weight or any sectional in Division I. We have Mitchell, we have Ellison, we have Trent, we have Kraft, we have Westinghouse, and we have Sheets. Count that again. That is 6 people trying to squeeze into 4 spots, and I'm telling you, all 4 of those kids that come out are going to win matches. They're not just going to qualify, they're going to win matches. So if they're going to get 2 people squeezed out, that could be Darby potential podium people there. So, God, I don't know if somebody's going to move around there or not. Maybe can I get down? Can I go up? Let's take a look. But 38 is definitely going to be a match. I'm going to talk to the tournament director because I kind of have that.
I got you.
And I want to, you know how you go to those tournaments and sometimes they have weights at one mat?
Yes.
I'm not a fan of that. But if I can get him to put 138 at mat 1, which is right by the hospitality room,
then maybe you'll see some action.
I'll bring that folding chair out, sit it there, and just like, oh, this is some good stuff, man. No, we're good. This is 38. Just keep on going.
Hey, you mentioned that 138-pound weight class. Will there be some late season shifts? And I'm telling you, I mentioned this in the last episode. It's just the idea that it's something we can't account for. So if it happens, the amount of intrigue, because right now we're setting the stage for 6 guys fighting for 4. Well, if one guy moves, that's going to change the dynamics of if they drop the weight class below, if they go up the weight class above. So it really changes things. So our mind is set one way, but when it shows up intrigue, it's like, whoa, he moved weights. Oh, well, this is crazy. So excellent type of scenario here for the fan. So that's what I got. Any other weight classes?
285 is another weight class
to
look
at.
The
Hog Mollies.
The Hog Mollies, sir. I think there's 3 kids, count that, 3 kids coming out of this weight at this sectional that are standing on the Derby podium. You know how many people stand on the Derby podium? 6. I'm saying 3 of them come out of this sectional. Again, I'm not giving away no whiteboard stuff yet.
Okay.
I'm just giving you guys a little bit. Hey, don't tell any other sectional. I think you guys have 3 people there. We got Garen from Old Tangy Orange. We have Cox from Lancaster. And we have 2-time district placer, our boy Snotter, who you know this guy's got a plan.
That's it.
Proudly. Whoa. I think Garen did himself a world of favor of winning Snyder at the all north there.
Yes.
I think Guerin might get the top seed there, would put Cox and Siren thing. I'm not sure. I don't think Guerin and Cox cross paths. I know Cox was out of the Liberty tournament with injuries, so he might, and that would do him a world of good there. Another weight that's not as deep, but is going to be entertaining to watch is 120. We have returning state placer against returning state qualifier, Myers and Hutzer. Could determine the team race here. It's going to be a tight race again. Could be a preview at 120 there for the Derby finals. So that's going to be a weight that I'm sure a lot of people's eyes are going to be on in the final team race. I really went back with this for the team race. I never ask Mark anything because he doesn't give me a good answer.
I just toss darts, man. I'm casting lots over here.
We've thought of a lot of things of how we think this unfolds, and I think I'm going to go with the home team here. They're going for the 5th straight. I got to think they see what's in front of them there. And I think the home field advantage here is a little bit. Me and Mark talked about it. When you got to drive an hour or so to a location, as opposed to getting out of bed and walking across the football field and going, it does have a little bit of play there. Plus, I think the field in general. Central Crossings bring a lot of good kids there, man. They're doing some good stuff there. Canal Winchester, they're going to have probably a district qualifier from 106 all the way up there to 32. Maybe look out for them. So, Olentangy Orange. Then you go down in Grove City, who was a preseason top 10. I mean, I think they could get some help from the field. But again, this is going to be razor sharp. What Upper Arlington's going to try to do is they're going to try to score as many points as they can in the first 6 or 7 weight class. And then this onslaught of Lancaster, the Gales are going to bring in the last 7 to see the catch them. This truly could be a photo finish per se as we got last year, and if it comes down to heavyweight, I'm going with Lancaster at this time. But again, we're splitting hairs, and I'm just hoping for a great, entertaining day of wrestling all the way around.
You going to Upper Arlington?
I will be at Upper Arlington.
I'll go to the Newark one then, and we'll sort of talk all day.
I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, well, I figured that, but
this right here is enough for me.
Well, it is 2 a.m.
But again, we expect a great day of wrestling. Hope everyone is healthy. Everyone is able to make it out to a wrestling event. And again, if you can, try to go to one of them. We talk about this all the time. Support wrestling. Wrestling can only grow and achieve better things if the people who are wrestling fans actually get off the couch and go support them. So,
agreed. Sean, that was a lot of talking for you, bud.
That is a lot. I know. I'm getting ready for the whiteboards.
Noted.
Me.
Is that it?
That's it.
And now you are inside the circle.